As I continue to read the Bible, more and more I am convinced that God has given all of us everything we need to live a fruitful life. Ibig sabihin, blessed niya na tayo. Pero if this is true, how come marami sa atin ang feeling natin wala tayong blessing? And maraming tao today ang hindi masaya kung anong meron sila and kung nasaan sila. Kamusta ka? Are you happy with what you have and where you are today? Masaya ka ba sa trabaho mo, sa marriage mo, sa negosyo mo, o even sa nationality mo? Ano ibig ko sabihin? Lumalaki ang OFW population natin. Well, that is good because eventually naman babalik sila at saka they send a lot of money to the country. But lumalaki rin ang population or dami ng mga Pilipino who wants to migrate abroad. Popular destinations would be Canada, Australia, Europe. Not so much sa US anymore because I guess it's a very crowded place tsaka magulo ngayon doon. So ang tanong ko, bakit ka ba hindi masaya kung anong meron ka and kung nasaan ka today? So most of us are looking for greener pasture. We always look around for better opportunities and oftentimes hindi natin makita yung ganda ng meron tayo. Pero if God is in control, why did God put you where you are today? If you think about it, in one of our previous lessons of Breaking Through, when I explained to you who is God, I told you that He is controller. Ibig sabihin lahat ng nangyayari sa'yo or kung nasan ka today, it is something that He decided on. Linagay ka niya dyan for a reason. Now, if that is true, bakit marami sa atin ang gustong umalis sa trabaho natin? In fact, when I post my ideas about business and employment sa internet, people give a lot of reason why they should not be where they are. Oftentimes pa, sinasabi nila that they should leave their comfort zone kasi they have no room for growth where they are already. It's the same thing in marriages today. More and more I'm realizing many marriages are struggling. Nung nagpakasal sila, feeling nila they found the best. And yet as they mature in their marriage, nakita nila lahat ng mali sa asawa nila. And so sometimes they ask, ano kaya mangyayari if I married someone else? Or what will happen if I leave my marriage and try to look for someone better? Oftentimes, ang tanong ko lang sa kanila, if you do that, sigurado ka ba na ang sunod mong mapapangasawa would be better than who you have today? Kasi sabi mo many years ago, the best na yung pinakasalan mo. And then many people are asking me, is it time to leave my business? 2 taon na ho siya, 3 taon na ho siya, hindi pa rin siya kumikita. And I have been telling people na pag hindi kumita ang negosyo, hindi problema ang negosyo. Oftentimes, ang problema, yung nagnenegosyo. And yet many people tend to blame what they have and where they are for their failure. Many years ago, there were 3 siblings who visited the house kasi kaibigan sila ng kaibigan ng anak ko. And as we were hosting them, I asked them kung tagasan sila. Sabi nila they live in a small town in Bukidnon. And so I was asking more about their family. Sabi nila their father owns the biggest grocery store in that small town. So they in the town they were well to do. And as our conversation progressed, I asked them, "Oh, sino sa inyo ang magte-take over sa grocery ng tatay nyo?" And they unanimously said, "Wala ho sa amin." Sabi ko, "Bakit naman?" And so they shared all the problems they saw in the business. Sabi, lakas ng pilferage, sakit sa ulo ng mga tao sa grocery store, matitigas pa ang ulo ng mga bumibili kasi minsan dadayain sila o nanakawan sila. Sabi nila ayaw nila sa negosyo ng tatay nila. So I asked them, what are you doing now? Sabi nila nagtayo na sila ng kanya-kanyang negosyo doon sa town nila. So I cannot help but ask, saan kayo kumuha ng pampuhunan sa tinayo niyong negosyo? Doon daw sa grocery store. So sabi ko sa kanila, yung grocery store kumikita na. Ito hindi ka pa sigurado. And hindi naman mawawala ang problema sa mga tao, sa pilferage, and pati na sa dayaan ng customer. Because all businesses will go through that. So I told them, hindi kaya pumunta kayo sa college para pagbalik nyo, pagandahin nyo yung grocery store ng tatay nyo. Maraming bata ngayon, ayaw nila sa negosyo ng tatay nila or sa magulang nila. So they go somewhere else pursuing something better. And so I cannot help but ask these children, ano ba ang mas magandang gawin? Magpatuloy ng isang kumikitang negosyo or magsimula ng isang negosyo hoping that in the future, kumita siya? Ano ang mas madaling gawin? Of course, di ba? Magpatuloy ng isang negosyong kumikita. Pero maraming problema yung grocery store ng tatay nila. Pero 'di ba kaya tayo nag-aral para ayusin siya at pagandahin, hindi para magsimula ng bago. Alam mo, I discovered something important about blessings. I realized that if you do not see something as a blessing, you will never enjoy it as a blessing. In order for you to enjoy whatever you have today as a blessing, I would like us to study that word. Ano ba ang ibig talagang sabihin ng enjoy? According to the dictionary, to enjoy means to take delight in an activity, in an occasion, or a possession. It is to benefit from what you have and where you are. I highlighted the phrase or the words take delight. Gusto ko sana maintindihan mo that the blessing you have will not give you enjoyment. You will have to decide to enjoy it. Kasi sabi, take delight, meaning it is an action that you need to take, a decision that you need to make. Now, whatever you have or wherever you are, you take delight. Kailangan mong makita na blessing siya. In fact, the Hebrew word tells us the same concept. The Hebrew word is racha. Ang ibig niyang sabihin is to accept, to approve, to restore, to take pleasure, to have for one's use and benefit. To enjoy means to make a decision to take pleasure in what I have. It is a decision followed by the corresponding action. In fact, ito ang sinasabi sa atin ng Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 18. Let me just read that. It says, "Look, I have discovered what is good and fitting, to eat and drink and to enjoy all the fruit of the toil with which one toils under the sun during the numbers of his days, during the number of the days of his life that God gives him, for this is his lot." I highlighted the phrase, enjoy all the fruit of the toil with which one toils. Hindi niya sinabi na hanapin natin ang enjoyment sa mga bagay o sa lugar kung nasan tayo. Sabi niya, enjoyment comes when your toil produce its fruits. Pero before the fruits come out, you must decide to take pleasure from what you have already and where you are. Many years ago, I saw this wonderful saying. It says, when you love what you have everything you need. Unfortunately, people have a hard time loving what they have and where they are. Kasi feeling nila kulang or hindi siya yung bagay na gusto nila. And many times, feeling nila, pag tumingin sila sa kapitbahay nila, sabihin nila, bakit siya? Why can't I have what he, why can't I have what he has already? Is God so selfish na ayaw niya ma-enjoy ang maranyang buhay? Hindi ho totoo yan. However, we just need to understand bakit yan ang binigay ng Panginoon sa'yo. Meron akong tanong sa'yo, kaibigan. If you do not see what you have as a blessing, yung trabaho mo, yung marriage mo, yung negosyo mo, even your nationality, what will you do and how will you take care of what you have? Many of us, if we don't see what we have as a blessing, we will be negligent. Meaning, hindi natin naayusin ang pag-alaga sa kanya. Kaya many of us are so distracted looking for something better. So one, we will be negligent and others will take it for granted. 'Di ba? Take it for granted. You may be staying where you are, pero hindi ka nag-e-excel. Kaya nga I think nangyari at a certain point in time yung tinatawag nilang quiet quitting. Hindi sila maka-resign kasi wala silang pupuntahan. So they stayed where they are, yet they did not excel. They took their job for granted, thinking na nakaisa sila sa boss nila kasi hindi sila nag-excel. They did not realize that they deprived themselves of something better because the boss will reward excellence, not their presence. Supposing you decide to look for a greener pasture, what will you do nung umalis ka at pumunta ka dun sa greener pasture? What will you do if you find that the greener pasture is not actually green? Bakit? Kasi nakita mo lang yung greener pasture at its greenness. Hindi mo na-realize na lahat ng opportunity natutuyo din. You need to understand that the grass is greener only if you cultivate it. Even if you leave where you are today and go somewhere else, kailangan mo pa rin siyang trabahuin. And so many people end up in the same predicament, maski lumipat na sila. Friends, understand that the grass is greener where you water it. Meaning, kailangan mo pa rin siyang alagaan. Akala natin when we find something greener, it will always be green for us so that we can enjoy. Hindi ho totoo yun. Yung green na pasture na nakita mo, may nagtrabaho nun. Nung sumali ka sa kanila, kailangan mo rin magtrabaho doon. Ulitin ko yung sinabi ko kanina. If you do not see something as a blessing, you will never enjoy it as a blessing. Many of us feel that people should always look for something better. Many years ago, there was this Greek agriculturist who visited me from Tagaytay. Pagdating niya sa lugar namin, dinala ko siya sa barangay. At sa barangay, nakita niya yung kasimplihan ng buhay ng mga tao doon. And so he made this comment. Sabi niya, don't they realize that there's something better, especially in the city? Why are they happy in the mountain when they can leave and go somewhere better? Sabi niya, they can enjoy better food, they can enjoy better life. So tanong ko sa kanila, why? What's wrong with their lives? Hindi ba masaya na sila diyan? Many times, many people do not know that they are in luck pag wala silang pagkukumparahan. And so many years ago, in our barangay, people were happy where they are until nagkaroon ng kuryente, nagkaroon ng TV, and then they realize, kawawa naman sila. Kawawa ba yon? Kawawa ba yon na yung almusal nila ganitong itsura? Sila nagtanim ng okra, sila nagtanim ng talong, sila nagpalaki ng tilapia, meron silang bigas at kamatis. At sasabihin mo, there's something better in the city. Di ba yung ganyang pagkain sa syudad, magkano yan? 500. Sa kanila libre yan. You know, I always feel sad when people sa Bukidnon, we leave Bukidnon to go in the city para makipagsapalaran. I often tell them, ang tawag sa iyo sa syudad, construction worker, alila, clerk. Sabi ko sa kanila, it is hard for you to compete with the people in the city because they're better educated, they have a foundation doon. Ikaw, kailangan ka pa mag-rent, mamasahe. Alam mo ako, I always feel sad when people in the mountain or in Bukidnon would leave their places to go to the city kasi makikipagsapalaran daw sila. I often tell them, dito ang tawag sa iyo landowner. Doon ang tawag sa iyo utusan, construction worker. And so you're hoping to find a better job that will make you prosper. Kasi sabi mo, total naman sir, may education ako, tapos ako ng high school. But you will be competing with people in the city na merong mga bahay, mas mura sa kanila ang to stay in the city. Ikaw magre-rent ka pa, mamamasahe ka pa, and then bibili ka pa ng pagkain. Alam mo, meron akong tauhan nun who decided to leave our farm kasi sabi niya lit ng sweldo dito, 120 pesos per day. Kasi sa syudad nun, 280 pesos per day ang sweldo. So he decided to go to Manila. 6 months after, he came back. Sabi niya sa akin, "Sir, doon walang naiwan sa pera ko. Nagre-rent ako, kakain ako, mamamasahe ako. Dito at least yung 120 pesos ko, akin lahat. Kasi akin ang truck papunta sa farm, libre bahay, libre pagkain." Pero oftentimes tayo, hindi natin na-appreciate kung anong meron tayo. Kasi we do not see what we have as a blessing. Have you heard of the story of this businessman and this fisherman? There was this businessman from a big city who decided to have a vacation in a small and remote coastal town. Early one morning, he decided to walk along the beach. Habang naglalakad siya, he noticed a local farmer returning from yung pangingisda niya. He was impressed by the quality of the fish that he gathered from the sea. Yan, so kinausap siya ng negosyante. Tinanong ng negosyante kung ilang oras siya magtrabaho and magkano ang kinikita niya. Sinabi ng fisherman sa kanya na yung nahuli niya lahat, trinabaho lang niya yon galing madaling araw hanggang mga alas 10 and uuwi na siya para magpahinga. Kasi negosyante siya, inimagine niya yung potential nung fisherman. Inisip niya if only he's willing to work harder, work hanggang 5 o'clock, and then uutang siya para magkaroon ng maraming bangka to be able to hire many people. Sabi niya dun sa fisherman, then mas malaki ang kita mo. You will be able to give employment to many people in the town. When you are successful, you can live a comfortable life. So habang nakikinig yung fisherman nung natapos yung businessman, tinanong niya, okay, ano naman ho gagawin ko pag successful na ako? Sabi ng businessman, then pag successful ka na and marami ka ng pera, you can enjoy the sunset, you can go fishing leisurely, you can spend more time with the family. Sabi nung fisherman, hindi ho ba ginagawa ko na yung sinasabi nyo? Na he go fishing leisurely, he enjoys the sunset and more time with the family. I like what Solomon said in Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 19. Sabi diyan, everyone also to whom God has given wealth and possessions and power to enjoy them, to accept his lot and rejoice in his toil. This is the gift of God. Sinasabi ng verse na to, yung ari-arian mo, yung pera mo, kung nasan ka ngayon, binigay ng Panginoon yan as a blessing. In order for it to become a blessing, you must decide to accept your lot and rejoice in your toil. Many years ago, I brought a dear friend to our farm. Taga Manila siya. He is an executive vice president of one of this big construction firm in Manila. And as we were going to our farm, you see our farm malayo sa bahay namin. I have to drive 1 kilometer of rough road. And as we were going to the farm, he made this comment. Sabi niya, Dong, bet ganon? Mamimili ka lang ng lupa. Ang layo and ang hirap puntahan. Rough road pa. And then he saw the scenery. Puro kugunan. I believe I told you already na ang kugon is a symbol of desolation. Kasi kung may kugunan, walang ibang tutubo dyan. Kung hindi kugon, pag pinutol mo kugon, sinunog mo kugon, kugon pa rin ang lalabas. So ito nakita niya. Sabi niya sa akin, bakit itong lupa ang pinili mo? So I told him our story and told him na hindi ako namili dyan, pinakita lang sa akin yan. And sabi ko sa kanya, pare, ito lang ang binigay ni God sa akin. The only choice I have is pagyamanin siya. As we were going through the forest, we built He was so impressed with what he saw. We have a lot of high value crops. We have a lot of different livestock. And we built a forest using only what we have. Because many years ago, I decided this is God's blessing to me. If I rejoice in my toil and produce fruits from it, I will enjoy the life that God intended for me. In our farm, we grow different livestocks. Many years ago, tumaas ang presyo ng baboy. So, sabi ng tao ko, Sir, wag muna tayo bumili ng baboy kasi mahal. During the time, we were still growing hogs for Monterey and bawal kami kumuha ng baboy doon sa farm namin kasi kanila yon. So, sabi ko sa mga tao namin, sige, wag na muna tayo bumili ng baboy, magkatay na lang kayo ng karnero. So, nung gabi na yon, ang ulam ko, lamb curry. Sa sunod na araw kasi hindi pa ubos yung karnero, gumawa ako ng lamb burger with lettuce na grow namin and itlog na kami ang nag-produce. Pati yung kamatis so amin. 'Di ba? Kaya sa Manila to enjoy that food, you go to this fancy restaurant to be able to eat this akin libre. Kasi I decided this is God's blessing to me. So I produce blessings from what I have. Many of you today are on the lookout for better opportunities. Some of you are even looking for the perfect opportunities, hoping and praying that God will show you mercy. Nabigyan ka ng opportunity na pwede mo ma-enjoy. Friends, I need you to understand, there is no such thing. There are no perfect opportunities. Whatever opportunity you have, you need to perfect them by cultivating and keeping them. Kaya very, very important tong idea ng in-explain ko sa inyo parati doon sa trabaho. In our last lesson about work, I told you, labor improves anything, even what you have and where you are today. And ang kinaganda pa, in the process of perfecting them, you grow your abilities. And as you grow your abilities, then God can give you more opportunities. Akala natin dapat ang binabayaran ng kumpanya sa atin ang presence natin. Hindi totoo yun. If you really want to advance in your career, ang binabayaran, abilidad. So if you focus on perfecting the job that you have, even the marriage that you struggle with, you see gaganda rin yan pag trinabaho natin. Even if you are struggling with your business today, gaganda rin yan pag ayusin mo yung abilidad mo. Many of you feel that God is unfair. Feeling nyo na oftentimes you ask why God bless one and not you. I'd like to show you the heart of the Lord, kung ano ang gusto niyang buhay para sa'yo. Sabi ng Jeremiah 3:19, Then I said, How I would set you among my sons, and give you a pleasant land, the most beautiful inheritance of all the nations. And I said, You shall call me my father, and not turn away from following me. Ang gusto ni God, magkaroon ka ng magandang lupa. Or siguro magandang garden. It may not be a physical garden. It could be a business or a good career. Sabi niya gusto kanyang bigyan ng magandang inheritance. Yung pinakamaganda na pwede mo makita. Yun ang plano. Pero wala pa sa'yo yan ngayon, di ba? Ang tanong bakit? Hindi ba kaya ni God ibigay yung hinihintay mo sa'yo ngayon? Kaya niya. Kaya niya ibigay ngayon. In fact, naniniwala ako nakatabi na yung para sa'yo. Kaso hindi niya mabigay sa'yo. Kasi alam niya, kung hindi mo ma-appreciate yung maliit na meron ka ngayon, pag binigyan ka niya ng mas marami, wawaldasin mo lang at ikasisira mo. So He is preparing you for that pleasant land and that wonderful inheritance. So friends, why did God give you what you have and put you where you are? Alam mo, tinanong din ito ni David. He asked God, why did you make man? Why did you put me here? And David found the answer in Psalm chapter 8 verse 4. Sabi niya, "What is man that you take thought of him, and the son of man that you care for him?" Verse 6 gives us the answer as it reads, "You make him to rule over the work of your hands. You have put all things under his feet." Friends, I need you to understand and appreciate this fact. God gave you what you have to grow you, because He's preparing you to be the best stewards of the opportunities He will give you in the future. He is preparing your character for that pleasant land and that wonderful inheritance. Kasi alam niya, pag binigay niya sa iyo ng maaga, ikasisira mo siya. So He is preparing you. So whatever you have today and wherever you are, it is a blessing from the Lord. So dapat magkaroon tayo ng mindset katulad ng tinuturo ko sa inyo parate, the mindset of a farmer, that you would want to make your garden better than how you found it every day. You will do this not because it is good already. You will do this because you know that as you accept your lot and rejoice in your toil someday, you will enjoy the fruit of your labor. Tapos meron pa siyang isang benefit. Let me go back to that set of verses. Sabi ng Ecclesiastes 5:19, "Everyone also to whom God has given wealth and possession, and the power to enjoy them, and to accept his lot and rejoice in his toil, this is the gift of God." Furthermore, verse 20 reads, "For he will not much remember the days of his life, because God keeps him occupied with joy in his heart." Sabi ni God, if you just focus on what I have given you already, if you stay put and strive to improve it daily, hindi ka mag-iisip ng maraming problema, because He will give you joy. So friends, let me just end with what I have been telling you kanina. If you do not see something as a blessing, you will never enjoy it as a blessing. God has blessed you already. Whatever you have, wherever you are, that is a blessing from the Lord. The people you struggle with, your boss, is a blessing. Kaya kanya pinapagalitan kasi may nakita siyang mali. Pag ginawa mo naman yung tama, hindi ka naman niya papagalitan. Yung misis o mister mo na you struggle with, they're a blessing. Totoo that when you married them, God gave you the best. Pero bakit kayo nagsistruggle today? Kasi God's using both of you to show you your weaknesses para maayos. Kaso lang iniisip natin, siguro pagpalitan ni God ang mister ko, misis ko, things will be better. Hindi ho totoo yun. If God gives you someone else, lalabas pa rin ang masamang ugali mo. So, what you need to do is to work on your marriage to make it better by you adjusting to your husband and to your wife. Marriage is something you must both work on. Katulad ng negosyo. When your business is not succeeding, it is not producing profit, hindi negosyo ang problema, kung hindi yung nagninegosyo. Kasi sinabi ko na sa inyo, di ba? Walang magandang negosyo, walang pangit. Lahat ng negosyo maganda, lahat ng negosyo pangit. Kasi wala yan sa negosyo kung hindi sa nagnenegosyo. Hindi rin totoo na kasi Pilipino ka na sa Pilipinas ka, hindi ka yayaman. Kasi ang pagyaman wala sa lugar kung hindi na sa tao. Friends, I am from Bukidnon, a remote province in Mindanao. And yet, because I've decided that God has blessed me already, we have produced fruits from the barren land that we started with. It is not the land and the business that decided my success. It is when I saw it as a blessing, today I am enjoying it as a blessing. Sana nakatulong itong lesson na to sa iyo to understand that God has blessed you already. When you are in your small group, I suggest that you discuss these questions. Question number one, ano ang ayaw mo sa trabaho mo, sa negosyo mo, sa mga relationships mo? And ang tanong, bakit? After accepting what you have as a blessing, what should you do to make your situation better? What should you do because nasa iyo ang key ng pagganda ng buhay mo? Friend, may God bless you and may God protect you.